Okay, when I left off in the previous screencast, I ran out of time, and I didn't want to rush through this part because it is so important that you understand like how to set up the citation and then we're talking about MLA, and later on in the semester we'll talk about setting up a citation for APA, but for all of your CTEs and for your first two essays. Mla format is going to be the format that you're going to want to use. And so, in the hiccups, in my sample one, proper MLA citation or proper MLA format and setup, we talked about your 4 lines of student information that start on the top line of your essay, up in the header box on the right hand side, your last name and the page number. Not if you're usually your CTE shouldn't be more than a page, but sometimes they roll over into another page, and that's okay too. And then your title, your actual CTE, and then at the very bottom you are going to skip down a couple of lines and do your citation for your text. In a paper, actually, you'll create a works cited page, and we'll go over all that in that first module. But for the purposes of the CTE, it's okay for your citation to just be kind of hanging out down there at the bottom. And so what I want to show you in this last little bit of a screencast is how to set up your citation correctly on your paper, how to do this, what's called a hanging indent, and I'm going to show you how to do that on this page here. So this is the correct citation for your first CTE. So hopefully you are viewing this and you can have your CTE citation already done for you. So you're going to want to start on the left hand side, and so you'll notice that when you look up to, especially in in Google Docs, up at the top you'll see a little blue kind of like a rectangle, and then underneath that directly is a triangle. So these are all about moving your indents. You can move your indents over all kinds of stuff. So what you're going to want to do is, once you get it typed out correctly, and I'm just going to go through it again really quickly. So it's last name, comma, first name, period, then your title of your text in quotation marks, punctuated correctly with the right capitalization, period goes inside the quotation marks. The Bedford Introduction to Literature is where I got all the text out from this unit, and the ones also for your essay, for your first 2 literary analysis essays. They all came from the Bedford Introduction. I think it's like the 8th edition. I just like that particular version. It's always, we used it for a long time, and they re-up it all the time. But you always italicize titles of anthologies, books, plays. They get in italics instead of quotation marks. Quotation marks are reserved for shorter things like poems, song titles, short stories, that kind of thing. So Bedford Introduction to Literature, comma, edited by Michael Meyer, comma, Bedford St. Martin's is the publisher, comma, 2016 is the year that it was published, comma, and then PP is multiple pages, P is singular pages, like if you get a poem that's on 1 page. This particular poem was on 2 pages. It was split up. It just happened to fall that way. It would have been on 1 page, but it was just the way it fell in the anthology. So it's a range. So you want to make sure that you get both pages cited correctly, 1024 to 1025 with a period at the end. So your first line of a citation is always left aligned. It's always on in this default position here on the side. Any subsequent lines that follow behind it are going to receive what's called a hanging indent. So what you want to do is highlight the whole thing, okay? And then you want to take this first line indent and you want to move it to the 0.50, okay? Then what I want to do is go back in and highlight the top line. I want to take this little rectangle at the top and move that over to the left side. I'm going to do that one more time for you so that you can see. I'm going to highlight the whole thing. I'm going to move the whole thing by grabbing the triangle over to the 0.50. I'm going to unclick it because I'm fixing to just move the top line only. Highlight the top line, grab the rectangle, first line indent, and go back to the 0.00. And then I've successfully created a hanging indent for the subsequent lines of my citation there for you. Okay, so hopefully that these two screencasts on just helping with that first CTE help you get started. If you have any questions or concerns, or you just need a little extra help, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always happy to help you go through anything that you have questions about. Good luck.